Hello. I'm going to continue with opinions and answers to questions that viewers have sent in. If you think I'm saying something incorrectly or you have something to add, please do that in the comments below this video, and maybe that'll help others. I've read it can take 5 years before your stomach becomes used to the local bacteria and you can be sick any number of times. How often do you find yourself getting stomach ill? Both times I visited over to Thailand for 2 weeks apiece, I had to take an antibiotic to kill a stomach bug. I did eat quite a bit of street and stall food. I do occasionally get diarrhea. I had some diarrhea about a month ago, and what I do is I carry Imodium pills with me, and have them in the hotel room here as well. And anytime that I do get sick, I start taking Imodium. A month ago, I had it for 1 day. One Imodium pill did the trick. As it turns out, I just got sick a couple hours ago and took another Imodium pill. So usually I only get sick occasionally, and it usually only lasts for a day or two, and Imodium type pills do help. If you get really sick, the first couple of months I was here, I got really sick, bad diarrhea, and my wife Noon went to the pharmacy and got 2 different kinds of pills. I think one was an antibiotic or something to kill the bacteria, and then the other was anti-diarrhea pill. So it does happen. I seem to not notice it too much now after being here for 1.5 years, but like I say, a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I was sick for a day or two, and then today I got sick. So there you go. Had you fought in the Vietnam War? Yes, I served in the U.S. Navy on 2 different destroyers. I entered in May of 1966 and got out, spent 4 years, got out in June of 1970. I made 3 6-month trips to Southeast Asia and Vietnam on 2 different destroyers. Destroyers were used just offshore as floating artillery. We could shoot up to 12 miles inland with our 5-inch main guns. They also had a little larger ship called a cruiser with a 6 or 8-inch gun. They could shoot maybe 15 miles, and for a while they had the World War II battleship New Jersey off the coast with its 16-inch guns. It could shoot up to 24 miles, I believe. And the New Jersey bullets you could see flying through the air with your naked eye. You couldn't really see the other boats' bullets from the cannons. You could see the muzzle flash and hear the noise if you were close enough, but on the battleship you could be quite a ways away and still see the bullet going through the air. Each time overseas, we would be on a gun line anywhere from 20 to 40 days. We usually had a patrol area just off the coast, maybe 1,500 yards, and we'd hang out in our area. And if troops on the shore within our gun range got into problems, we'd go racing up there and give them support fire. We'd also do pre-planned missions, sometimes with other boats and other like aircraft or troops on the ground. And we'd shoot a lot of nighttime harassment. We were either on the gun line or we were out at sea with the aircraft carriers. They used destroyers along with aircraft carriers for protection in case pilots had to pick them up. Next question. You seem to adjust fast to the move, but the heat, how is that for you? Well, the last couple of weeks it's been very hot. It's probably 100, 101 outside. I've been looking at the internet weather. It's going to continue being that. Actually, next week it's supposed to be a little hotter, maybe 102 F, whatever that is in centigrade. And it's hot. The way you deal with it, when I first got here, other people said, oh, you'll get used to it in a couple of years. I may be a little more used to the heat now than I was a year and a half ago, but it still gets to you. And the way you deal with it is I carry these little towelette things. This is the small size. You can get these at 7-Eleven. They call them 7 stores here. And the large size. The small size, I always carry one in my pocket. They're good for wiping sweat off your face and back of your neck. The larger size, if you're out walking around, you can put one of these on the back of your neck and it'll keep the sun off and kind of keep you hydrated. So these are at 7-Eleven. They're in the cold section where they sell the cold sandwiches and the milk and drinks. They're usually on the side of the display. Sometimes they're in amongst the sandwiches and other items they have to sell, but they're usually hanging on the side. Very cheap, maybe, I don't know, 12 baht, something like that, and the bigger one's a little more. So that's one thing. Another thing you can do, a friend told me this when I first arrived. This is replaces your electrolyte. It's a powder. You put it into water, dissolve it in water, and drink it. ORAS. It's an orange flavored electrolyte beverage powder. They sell these in the pharmacies. You can either buy individual packets or you can buy a whole box like I did here. Just after I bought the box, I started thinking that they might also make me retain water. And my only big health problem before coming here and continuing is that I have swelling in my lower legs. Before I came here, I was diagnosed, after all the ultrasound and testing, I was diagnosed with having weak venous veins. I didn't know what the venous system was in your body. The returning of blood to your heart is done by the venous system of blood vessels. And in the case of your legs, every time your heart pumps and when it relaxes, there's valves that are supposed to close to keep the fluid, the returning blood from gravity making it go the wrong way, away from your heart. And my veins leak. So what that means is I take a water pill. I take a generic Lasix, 40 milligrams daily. I usually take it in the morning, wake up around 6 and take it, and then you go pee-pee for the next 3-4 hours. And that keeps it under control. The Lasix is really easy to get, along with many other drugs here. You just walk into a pharmacy and say that what you want, or tell the pharmacist your problem, and they'll recommend something for you to buy for whatever ailment you have. That includes that also includes Viagra. I did buy some Viagra one time, but we decided that I don't really need it. So, dealing with the heat, we go out in the morning, usually late morning, and have a breakfast or lunch. And then we come back and we stay in the hotel room with the air conditioner on and the fan on. And then in the evening, maybe 6:30-ish, we'll go out again to have dinner. You do that. So it's cooler in the mornings, and then it gets really hot over the noontime, and then it starts to cool off, hopefully, on into the evening. So you do that, and you just take a lot of showers, change your clothes. Actually, some degree of sweating is maybe a good thing because it helps you lose weight, or at least helped me lose weight. So anyway, yes, I am probably more used to the heat than I was when I came here a year and a half ago, but it still bothers me. I do sweat quite a bit on occasion, and you just deal with it. Next question. How do you go about accessing funds for day-to-day expenses or for large purchases like your car and townhouse? In my case, I don't keep any money in my name so far in Thailand. I may in the future open an account at Bangkok Bank, but currently my wife has an account and the 3 kids have accounts at various banks, but I do not. The way that I operate here is my 2 U.S. domestic bank accounts. One's at Bank of America. That's where my Social Security is direct deposited each month. And the other one is Charles Schwab. I have a brokerage account at Charles Schwab attached to a Charles Schwab bank account. So when my Social Security is deposited and clears, I transfer it to Charles Schwab. And with the Charles Schwab bank account, they give you a Visa debit card. And the Visa debit card is what I operate on here. I go to Bangkok Bank ATMs are the ones that I favor. Every time you access money at an ATM here, they charge you a fee. Currently it's 200 baht. So every time you pull money, it's going to be 200 baht at an ATM using a credit card or a debit card, Visa and MasterCard. So Charles Schwab uses Visa. They reimburse, they do not charge an ATM fee at their end, Charles Schwab bank end, for a withdrawal, and they reimburse the foreign bank or external bank ATM fees up to some limit per month. So that's the way I do it. At the time that I set this up 2 years ago, Scottrade, I had a Scottrade account and I closed it and transferred to Charles Schwab in the month before coming here. The reason is that Scottrade also reimburses the ATM withdrawal fees the same way that Charles Schwab does, but there was, at the time anyway, they used MasterCard. Scottrade used MasterCard, and MasterCard charged an extra % on the money translation between US dollars and baht. So that was number 1 problem. Number 2 problem was that Scottrade at the time, I had 3 different accounts at the brokerage at Scottrade, and they required setting up 3 different Scottrade bank accounts, and I didn't want to do that. So I transferred to Charles Schwab. Schwab takes all of your investment accounts and can funnel them into one Charles Schwab bank account, so that works better for me. So that's the way that I do that. I've talked to other Americans here, and there are maybe other banks or credit unions that also refund, don't charge an ATM fee at their end, and refund an external bank's ATM fee when you withdraw money. But I don't know specifics about that, so look around. For the large purchases, we just bought a townhome, and it was 3 million baht. I transferred 2 million baht worth of US dollars from my Charles Schwab investment account. I wired from my Charles Schwab investment account 2 million baht. It came out to like $57,000. So I wired $57,000 from Charles Schwab investment to my wife's account at Bangkok Bank using their routing number for their New York office. Bangkok Bank has an office in New York and an office in London at least. And it worked very well. Within 2 days, the money was available in here in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, in my wife's account. So it's pretty quick, and it was in baht here. So they do the Bangkok Bank does the conversion between U.S. dollars and baht here in Thailand. So you get a better conversion rate, and the fees were Charles Schwab Investment charged $25 for the wire fee, but they reimbursed that at the end of the month into my account, and at Bangkok Bank end they charged a flat 500 baht fee, I believe. So that was the way that we transferred money for the townhouse. In the case of the car, and if you see my other videos about the townhouse, we're currently having my stepson renovate, him and his team renovate the inside. When you buy a house here, a new house, there's nothing on the inside, not even a kitchen much. Everything is kind of do alone. They leave it up to you. So I had already been giving my wife money each month for the year and a half that I've known her. So we're using that money to fix up the house. Next question. If you were moving to Thailand all over again and knowing what you know now, would you do anything differently? Well, for one thing, and I intended to do this, I would bring more socks and more underwear. And any other large Farang sizes are hard to get here. I wear a size 13 shoe. I used to go to Walmart and get the packages of white socks that were 13 to 15 in size. And they were a little too big for me, but they fit good. Those lasted about 6 months here and then wore out, maybe a little longer, but I'd already been wearing the ones that I brought. Underwear, same thing. I intended to go to Walmart or some other store before coming here and buy a couple of packages of underwear to bring, because I had read that those kind of items were difficult to get here. Again, ran out of time, didn't get around to doing it. Right now I'm down to 3 pair of underwear with holes in them. Fruit of the Loom, I used to get packages of Fruit of the Loom briefs at Walmart. So any of those kinds of things would be handy to bring extras. Sometimes people go back and you can ask a buddy to bring you back a package of underwear, a package of socks or whatever. I have bought socks here. They have things that are called free size, F-R-E-E, free size. So if you're an average size person to small person, those will probably work okay for you, be it whatever it is. But you know, the Thai people in general are smaller, so they just don't stock, or if they do, they only get like 1 or 2 of an item when they buy stuff to put in their store. It's very difficult to find large size shoes, although I bought a pair of sandals just before I came here. They were like 55 bucks. Real nice, heavy, open kind of a weave sandal and closed toe. And I haven't worn them very much, so that was kind of a waste of money. But I do have them if I want to dress up a little bit, like we go to a wedding or something. I'll wear those because they do look like a nice shoe. But for everyday use, I wouldn't wear them. You can get flip-flops here, shower shoes. A lot of people just wear flip-flops, or they wear sandals with no socks. Or if they do wear socks, it's low cut. And what I do is I've been successful finding some crew type socks that are, you know, regular length up above your ankle socks, and they mostly fit. They're tight around the toes because they just aren't big enough. They're for a smaller foot. But I wear those, and we fold them down twice, so they kind of become a low-cut sock. But many people here wear short pants. I had never worn short pants that much at home either. But growing up in California, I've always, most of my life, I've just worn a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. That's what I'm most comfortable in. So here I wear a t-shirt like I have on. This is one of the better ones that I've bought here, and it actually fits. Their sizes here, if you at home in the US, if I got a 2X, that's my size. Sometimes varies a little bit, but usually it's got plenty of room like this one. Here, this is a 3X, and you can't always go by the size. I've bought quite a few 2Xs, and you end up wasting your money because they're too tight. I bought a pair of shorts because the 2 pair of gym shorts that I sleep in that I brought are cotton gym shorts are starting to wear out. So we were at Maya Mall a couple weeks ago, and outside they were selling, had different stalls selling stuff, and one was selling kind of sporty looking shorts. And I bought, he only had one pair that was labeled 2X, and I brought them home and I could get one leg in them. It was maybe a 2X for a child. Anyway, I gave them to my wife. She wears them at night sometimes. So clothing can be difficult, especially if you're larger size. So, and like I say, sometimes people here go home, back to the States or back to England or back to Australia, wherever they came from, and you can ask them to pick up a package or two and bring them. So yes, if I had it to do again, I would bring more socks and more underwear. I really can't think of much else. I was fairly prepared. I mean, you don't know what you're doing when you come halfway around the world cold to a foreign country not knowing anybody. I had never been to, I'd only been to Thailand once before. That was in 1970 in the Navy for about 5 days. And it was in April when they have the water festival called Songkran, because they were throwing water on people. I remember that. And you know, that was as a sailor. So this is different from coming here as a sailor. This is everyday life. But anyway, I was reasonably prepared. I knew that you didn't bring much with you, which I didn't. And knowing what you know, would you do anything differently? I would say no, other than bringing more clothes. The money situation is pretty good, is working good, using the ATM. I would certainly guard the ATM. The first time I tried to use my Charles Schwab ATM card, Visa debit card, I started to walk away from the ATM machine, leaving the card in the machine. The guard called me back. Just happened to be outside of a bank where there was a guard, so that was lucky. And then about last summer, I think, I don't know what I was thinking, but I left my card in the machine over by Chiang Mai gate, and fortunately, and I didn't realize it until later that day, we went racing back there, and fortunately the next person that tried to use the machine took my card and gave it to the owner of the coffee shop where the machine was in front of, so they had it. So you want to be very careful about that. So I guess I wouldn't do anything any differently. Just try to be as prepared as you can and expect the unexpected, and go with the flow. Next question. Is Chiang Mai still a place where living on low to medium budgets is still possible? A low to medium budget is for a single person who is not a bar stool or bar girl addict and has no interest in high-end apartments and live a modest life. Does that equate to, for example, a monthly cost of living to around $750 US? I would say that you can probably live here for $750 US. And you can do some things. You're going to have to watch what you spend. I don't necessarily, I make more than that. With my Social Security and the dividends and interest from the various investments. But I had been thinking, I watched JC's video again and a few others, but JC's video where he was talking about living for $500 US a month, and showing examples of how to eat street food to suffice for that. JC is a guy that used to be based in Chiang Mai. I'm not sure he is nowadays. He does a lot, in any event, he does a lot of traveling around Thailand, making videos of other places. His website and YouTube is retirecheap.asia. So retirecheap.asia, and the guy goes by JC. And he's done a lot of videos. He helped me a lot in deciding where to go in Thailand, settle in Chiang Mai, and examples of what life might be like here. So I would say 500, you can maybe do that. You're probably not going to come here off the boat. I think I've said this in the past. You're probably not going to come here and right away be able to live on $500 US a month. And it's going to take a while for you to learn, you got to learn which way's up. You got to learn where to eat cheaply, what to eat cheaply, where to get a place to stay cheaply. But $750 US, you could probably do that okay. Single guy, don't drink much, no girlfriend, not a lot of going out to movies and having expensive dinners and whatnot. My opinion is that I would have like $1,200 US a month would be an okay income. And the Thai government for the retirement visa based on retirement is 65,000 baht per month income. And that's probably not a bad value, a bad number. And right off the top of my head, I don't know what that equates to in US dollars, but I would say if you're bringing in around 1,200, you're able to live okay. I don't really budget. We kind of go eat where we want to eat. I'm currently finishing up a video where we took this last week, and I filmed what Nung and I and the kids, as they were with us, had to eat for breakfast and dinner. And so I'll have that up online next week, and that'll maybe give you a better idea of what our lifestyle is, a typical week for us, and how much we spend eating. But we don't really go out of our way to try to eat cheaply. I like to go to places where I like the food. I have a Thai wife, so we kind of have to go somewhere that serves Thai food and food that I like to eat. I don't always like to eat Thai food. I don't always like to eat Farang food. So I try to go to places where I've been before and I like the people, the service, and the food, and I have not gotten sick from eating there. When I do get sick, I don't go back to that place. So we don't try a lot of new places, just walk down the street, oh, that looks like we ought to eat there. I usually go to places where we're both comfortable and have been before. And in some cases, it's friends of my wife who are running the business. So I was thinking over the weekend, last week and over the weekend, more about, and I watched a few other videos from people that were living in Chiang Mai to see if it really could be possible to live on a real low income. And it might be possible, especially if a $500 US range. That might be possible, but you gotta live in cheap housing, not necessarily bad housing, but you gotta find a cheap place to stay. Because that's a big amount, that's a big chunk or percentage of your monthly income. And then eating, you've got to find ways to eat that, if you're going to eat in restaurants, even the small mom and pop restaurants, that can add up. We spend, today was 240 baht, and we go there all the time, so I left the lady a 20 baht tip. Tipping is not expected here. So, what the travel sites say, if you get a couple of coins back in change and folding money, leave them the coins and put the folding money back in your pocket. I never leave a tip larger than like 20 baht, 20, 25 baht, no matter what the bill is. And if you're at a larger restaurant, they may charge a VAT, 7% VAT, value-added tax, and they may also tack on a service charge. So you always want to look at your bill to see if they've done that. If they do that, then I don't leave them any tip. But the smaller places, especially where we go repeatedly, I'll leave them a little bit if I have it. So we have a new noodle shop that we've eaten a couple of times. You'll see it in the upcoming video when I get it uploaded. Very good noodles. It's my second favorite noodle place, and it's just like half a block away from the hotel here, across from the Thai hospital. Excellent noodles. They don't have noodles every day, but when they do, we've eaten there twice, and I've enjoyed it both times. And the noodles are like 40 baht for a bowl of noodles, some meat. In our case, we got pork. The first time we were there, they even included a pork bone with a little extra meat on it. So, but very tasty. If you're looking at a map, the old city of Chiang Mai is in a square, and it's 1 mile per square approximately. And the square is denoted by a moat. That used to be the old city fortifications. You kind of navigate by using the gate names. So Chiang Mai Gate, where we live outside of, is in the south, and Taipei Gate is in the west-east. I might have said west before. Anyway, the east, and then North Gate. So if you go from Chiang Mai Gate and walk 1 mile basically north, you'll end up at North Gate. And if you walk halfway, half a mile up, and turn to the right towards the east, you'll end up at Taipei Gate. If you keep going through Taipei Gate, another kilometer or so, you'll end up at the Ping River. Ping River is on the east side of the old city. And Night Bazaar is up and over on the right side when you're looking at a map. And Wat Chinatown and Wat Market is on the east side, inside the Ping River, outside the moat on the east side. Okay, so anyway, back to whether you can live here. It really depends on your lifestyle, how much money you spend here. You can spend as much money as you want. You can blow it all on chasing women and drinking, living the high life, or you can live very frugally. If the less income you have, the more careful you're going to have to be about what it is you spend money on. We don't exactly try to keep track of the money that closely. We kind of go eat where we want to eat. Sometimes we have an expensive dinner. Expensive dinners here, especially if 4 or all 5 of the family is together, it can be 1,000 baht. That's like 30 bucks. And if we're eating noodles, they don't always want to go to an expensive place. A lot of times they just want to go to a Thai noodle shop. So that can be, even with 5 people, it can be like under 200 baht. So it just depends.